Ayesha and Mikhael from this new season of Love During Lockup. I gotta hammer it into my head that his name is Mikhael, not Michael, because you guys already know how bad I suck at pronouncing things sometimes, and my brain is wanting me to say Michael when I read it. But his name is Michael, or Mikhael. Oh my god, I'm already doing it. But anyways, Ayesha is 54 years old. She's dating Mikhael, who's 45. And I kind of got questions about him really being 45. Like, I'm sorry, he looks like he has lived a hard 45 years. I think Mikhael might be lying about a few things, like how long he's actually supposed to be serving in prison and how old he really is, because I'm not buying the fact he's 45. You guys let me know how old you think he looks in the comments below. But it kind of just seems like Ayesha is just taking everything that he's telling her at face value, and she's not doing any kind of research, which is kind of shocking because she seems like a smart woman. Like, she literally goes to doctors' offices and helps explain to the doctors how to work their new technology, but she can't figure out how to look up this man's record and see how much time he has before she decides to get serious with him. And when she did finally sit down and look it up, after she had been dating him, after she signed up and started filming for the show, she looks it up and she thinks this man's about to be getting out any time now, and she finds out that it says that he's not even supposed to be getting out for another 999 years. I did some digging and found out that he caught an escape charge back in May of 2003. Then in February 2009, he caught a trafficking cocaine charge, more than 28 grams but less than 500 grams. And then he got a distribution of a controlled substance charge. And then he went to jail for a while. He got out, went to prison for a while, got out. And he was on parole, and he eventually violated his parole, and now it's showing here that his minimum release date is December 31st of 9,999. And like, that's not even like within our lifetime. Like, we're all going to be dead and gone before his minimum release date comes. And so I did some digging, and a 999 year prison sentence typically means it's a form of life imprisonment. It's dedicated, or it's designed to ensure that that person never leaves prison alive. So they just make sure they put like the farthest out date that they can, which would be 12/31/999, like they showed there. And I also found that Michael did go up in front of the parole board back in December of 2022. He went in front of the parole board. His aunt was there and his cousin were there, and they were both speaking at the parole hearing. They spoke very positively about Mikhael, and then the parole ended up getting denied. So he is able to go back in front of the parole board in December of 2027. So I did find that interesting, that like in one spot it acts like he's getting a life sentence, but another spot it acts like he can go in front of the parole board. So it definitely seems like he didn't get life without the possibility parole. It sounds like he got life with the possibility. Like, this whole storyline is just so damn irritating to me. Like, I really wanted to like them at first because Ayesha seems really bubbly, but none of it's making sense. Like, Ayesha seems like the type, like, she's smart enough to where she should know better, but here she is, like, running towards all the red flags. She's not doing any kind of research on this man, and then she decides that she's gonna carry around this Cabbage Patch baby doll all over the place with her, and she pretends like it's her and Mikhael's future baby. And then she goes to this, I don't even know if it's like a restaurant or what it was, but she goes to this place and she gets on stage and she said she had a show, and I guarantee you nobody at that show bought tickets. It was all her family and friends, and I feel like wetv just set this up to like troll us. I feel like they probably feel like this couple really doesn't have a storyline, so they're trying to come up with whatever they can to make their storyline funny, like with the baby doll and with her rapping and with Michael saying he's 45 years old. But it's just not making no damn sense to me, because she literally drives down to the prison after he switched prisons and she hasn't heard from him in a week. So she decides to just pop her happy ass up at the prison, and she thinks she can just show up and talk to people and maybe even visit him. But unfortunately, she finds out the hard way how much of an asshole a lot of these CEOs and people who work at the prison really are. Not all of them are, because I know some cool CEOs, but I mean, some of them, you know, they just act like somebody just pissed in their Cheerios. Like, they just go through hating life and just take it out on other people. And that's kind of how it seems like the guy that Ayesha came across. Like, Ayesha pulls up, she gets out the car, she starts asking this guy, hey, what's up? I'm trying to figure out where my man is. And he just kind of looked at her like, girl, are you serious? You can't just show up here. And I kind of think that he probably saw like the cameras or the camera crew like hiding off in the cut. And he said that he was going to call the sheriff, and then the sheriff showed up, and they're like, hey, well, you just can't show up here, but yeah, we're going to figure out what's going on. And she's just all sorts of mad. Like, she doesn't understand how this prison system works at all. And here she is like, oh my God, they got wire fences? Hell, with how clueless she was acting, I'm surprised she didn't decide to pick him up a Happy Meal on the way there and decide to try to give it to the CEO outside and be like, hey, can you give my Mikhael his Happy Meal? Like, it seems like she thought, like, anything can just happen if you just show up at the prison and she's gonna be fine. Like, girl, you gotta do your research. Come on. Look into what you're getting yourself into before you decide to get into it. Like, you cannot be this dumb. And I don't think she realizes that wetv really is making her the butt of the joke. And I'm just like, okay, is this even a real relationship? Because none of this is making sense to me at all. You guys let me know what you think. Like, I kind of feel like maybe like a couple maybe backed out at the last minute, and maybe they didn't have anyone else, so they replaced them with them. But I've heard of plenty of other good potential candidates who have applied for this show for us to be getting bull BS storylines like this that make no damn sense. I don't know, maybe it'll start making more sense as the season continues, but I definitely want to figure out how long Mikhael is gonna have, and if there's a potential that they're ever gonna be together, and if he's not gonna get out, is she gonna be willing to stick by his side? And then one of the biggest shockers is her daughter is a CEO, and she's too embarrassed to tell her daughter she's dating Mikhael. And if you're too embarrassed to tell your own daughter about your boyfriend, then maybe you should be second guessing your decisions. Because not only are you going to tell your daughter, oh, I'm dating an inmate, but also I'm potentially dating an inmate who may be sentenced to 999 years in prison. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Ayesha and Mikhael in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.